The air hung heavy with ash, a gray pallor covered the sky. Liora, a young woman with eyes old beyond her years, trudged across the ravaged landscape. Her ragged cloak did little to protect her from the biting wind. She clutched a small ornate lantern to her chest, its metal warm against her skin. Inside, a single ember flickered, a fragile beacon in the encroaching darkness. This was once her home. Fields of golden wheat had stretched as far as the eye could see. Now, only charred husks and shattered stone remained. The war had consumed everything, villages lay in ruins, monuments to a bygone era. The silence was broken only by the mournful sigh of the wind, a constant reminder of the life that once thrived here. Liora pushed onward, her steps fueled by a desperate hope. The ember she carried was no ordinary flame, it was the last vestige of the great phoenix, the guardian of her people. Its warmth had protected them for generations. Now, only this faint flicker remained. Liora remembered stories whispered by the elders, tales of the phoenix, its wings ablaze with the light of 1,000 suns. It had soared across the heavens, its fiery gaze a shield against the darkness. Then the enemy came, their armies vast and terrible. The phoenix fought bravely, its flames scorching the earth. But even its power had limits. She had witnessed its fall, a searing memory forever etched in her mind. The sky itself seemed to weep as the phoenix plummeted to the earth, its light extinguished. Darkness had followed, swift and absolute. Her family, her friends, all gone, swallowed by the encroaching shadows. Only Liora remained, entrusted with the phoenix's dying ember. The elders spoke of a prophecy, a glimmer of hope in the face of despair. Atop the sacred peak, a place of ancient power, the phoenix could be reborn. Liora clung to this hope, her heart heavy with the weight of her responsibility. It was a perilous journey, fraught with danger, but she was determined to succeed for the sake of her people, for the memory of the light. The path to the sacred peak was fraught with danger. Twisted creatures, born from the darkness that now blanketed the land, stalked her every move. Their eyes glowed with a malevolent hunger, drawn to the last vestiges of warmth and light she carried. Liora evaded their grasp, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. The elements themselves seemed to conspire against her. Howling winds tore at her cloak, threatening to rip the precious ember from her grasp. Blinding snowstorms obscured her path, forcing her to rely on instinct and sheer will to navigate the treacherous terrain. Each step was a victory, hard-won and fleeting. Loneliness was perhaps her greatest enemy. The silence of the ruined world was deafening. No bird sang, no insect hummed, only the echo of her own footsteps broke the stillness. Doubt gnawed at her resolve. Was she strong enough to complete this impossible task? Could one small ember truly banish the darkness that had consumed her world? A glimmer in the darkness. The sacred peak loomed before her, a jagged silhouette against the leaden sky. Its slopes were treacherous, its paths long swallowed by overgrown thorns and treacherous scree. Yet as Liora approached, a sense of peace washed over her. The air hummed with unseen energy, a faint echo of the power that resided here. Reaching the summit, she collapsed, her body racked with exhaustion. The lantern slipped from her grasp, rolling across the uneven ground. The ember flickered, its light dimming. Panic surged through Liora. Was this the end? Had her journey been in vain? As she reached for the lantern, a voice whispered in her mind, ancient and powerful. The phoenix spoke to her, its essence woven into the very fabric of this place. Liora understood then. The prophecy, the hope, it had all led to this moment. The ember alone was not enough. A sacrifice was required, a life for a life. From ashes, life. Tears streamed down Liora's face, not tears of fear, but of acceptance. She had carried the weight of her world for so long. Now she finally understood her purpose. With a steady hand she opened the lantern, offering the dying ember to the wind. She closed her eyes, embracing the cold, and whispered a prayer for her people, for her world. For a moment there was only silence. Then the air crackled with energy. The ember, caught by the wind, spiraled into the sky, igniting the very air around it. A blinding light erupted from the peak, banishing the shadows. Liora watched as a magnificent creature took flight, its wings spread wide, ablaze with the light of 1,000 suns. The phoenix was reborn. Warmth spread across the land, pushing back the darkness. The land, scarred but not broken, responded. Green shoots pushed through the charred earth. The air filled with the sound of birdsong. Life returned, hesitant at first but steadily growing stronger. Liora was gone, but her sacrifice had not been in vain. The phoenix sword, a symbol of hope, a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice.